Hello all together. My name is Frank from Music Interval Theory Academy. And today I'm very honored for, I believe, the second time to have a very great interview partner with me here in the virtual studio. And that is Norbert from Hungary. Hello, Norbert.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Yeah, great that you are here again. And this time, I believe, you also have brought something with you that you want to show us, but in a few minutes. So I believe you want to talk at least briefly about what the M.I.T.A community is, because I figured that so many people out there, they might not even be aware of the fact that our academy actually has a great supportive community. So Norbert, I will leave this mic to you, and I would be glad if you could share a few words about your personal experience with the M.I.T.A community.
Yeah, so basically I started learning composition by myself many years ago. So I started learning the piano 20 years ago, kinda, and also at that time started learning composition as well. But I always liked the proper method how to do it, and this is how I was searching for a method, and I find the M.I.T.A community and all these lessons and this very cool stuff, and yeah, that's basically a growing community, and M.I.T.A provides you with many tools to actually compose, way to compose, provides you with the proper mindset, many exercises, and it's also a growing community who join the school and enjoy all the contents and some competitions every month maybe. Also everybody supports the everybody, so yeah, it's basically a very nice community, and we have also Facebook group, and everybody is very friendly and can help you basically. And also Frank and the TC is very dedicated to set you going, in a business wise, also to help you build up your business and your future career. So it's very nice, very nice. I very like it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Well, most of the action in the community probably at this point really happens in the closed Facebook group. But we should mention at least that there is another way how to interact with the community, and that is via our internal forum on the M.I.T.A website. So if you don't use Facebook, or if you refuse to add an account and to become a Facebook member, then of course you still have the opportunity to interact with the M.I.T.A community via the website directly. Yeah, great. Norbert, many thanks for that. Switching gears here a little bit, I believe you also want to talk a little bit about one of your assignments, your compositions.
So I want to share my screen a little bit. I first want to play the piece, and this was for the lesson 7 assignment. So I would like to just play it. So this was the piece.
And when you look at all of these vertical chord structures that you have created here, this is really quite complex writing, so to speak, although the ideas behind it stay very simple, as we're going to find out in a second here.
Yeah, so I want to show a bit example from the lesson. So these were the guidelines to first pick some roots and so pick some roots, for example F, and use this for 4 bars, and after that switch 4 chromatics up to an A, and after that stay 4 bars, and after that repeat this to a C sharp and back to the original. So this is 16 bars of roots. Basically, this is called the root cycle 4 because we step by 4 half steps basically. So this is how this was the first step to choosing the roots and making these steps basically. And after that, since the whole lesson was about choosing a chord progression, but also leaving out some space for free lines, I picked some chords here that I want to hear over my roots, and also this line here at the bottom is just for helping me to know which scale these chords contain. So for example, I choose first F major chord, and also here, and I wanted to add some variation to these 2 bars. So so I first picked a Ionian scale and after that a Lydian scale, because this is nice complements to each other, because only there's difference in one note, you know. So this will give me the opportunity to add some variation, Lydian variation to these Ionian 2 bars, for example. And I did the same logic throughout until I finished in the last bar. So I picked you know all the scales, yeah. So I mostly wanted to choose major scales, and also started laying out the top some scale tone sets, which I will later carve out some melody in the soprano part. So it sounds like this one. So this is a very, very basic sketch, and from this, so I added a bit of complexity to this. So you can see that this is an F6 chord now, and added a 7 here as a variation to have more diversity, you know, in the chords. And also in the soprano part, as I said, I started, you know, making some melody on top by connecting the notes. As I said in the last interview, it's a very nice way to create some melodies, to lay out some scale tone sets, for example these, and just connect these. Also here with this note I connected this one. And as you can see, I would like to play this, but you can see I applied the same logic. So I laid out all these scale tone sets and made a melody on top of that, and changed some stuff in the bass. You can see this is an minor chord now, not a major chord as in the last step. So I changed a few things, but it's still an easy concept. So it sounds like this one. So if you notice it, this line, this 2-bar phrase, and this one. So I started with this, and this is just the Lydian variation, kinda. So similar with these 4 bars. This is just the the Mixolydian variation to this Dorian 2-bar phrase. So this was the basic idea, to change scales every 2 bars and the flavor of the harmony. So use mostly major chords at the beginning and change to minor as a contrast in the end. And from this, same logic here. This is also here. So I use this motif, this rising motif, to build a structure. And you can see this is also just the variation of this one. So it's like just slower version. And here I added this bar, this is just an ornamentation like this. So I added this extra bar as a delay before the end. And here also, instead of just going directly to the dominant septim, I added this chord, this bar as a delay also. And so this is the basic concept. From that, I added more complexity. So this is step 3 now. First, I spread out to 4 voices, which was with the original sketch. So the soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. You can see this is the same, and this is also the lower part is here. And for the tenor, I used the upper notes here. And for the bass, I just use the basic roots, which I choose here. So nothing extra, and and changed some notes again. But basically, it's the same as what I showed in the last step. And I already started adding some variation. So in here, for the violin and viola and cello, I started adding some line writing, because in M.I.T.A, in the previous lessons, mostly dealt with free line writing, how you can, add spice and flavor to your pieces and melodies, have to add moving lines, not just static block chords. So it's a very nice method to arrive at, counter melodies and to lead the voices. So from these, started, creating some moving lines. So this is the basic idea. So here in the first part I used 3 lines, and here in the second part mostly these block quotes. So you can hear it if I play. And you can see that I wrote the viola part a bit high up to fill in the harmony, but this resulted in a very thin sound. So later I added the contrabass part to have this low bass sound as well. But this is the basic idea. So we have contrasting. First I'm using these 3 lines, and after these block chords, but also in the first part mostly major, and the last part is minor. So it's a great way to add spice to your pieces and variation, to use lots of contrasting scales, harmonies as well. So this was the step 3. I just added finally some dynamic markings, some legato markings. Since I'm using Note Performer now, I very like it, how it articulates the different voices. So the last step I just simply added a contrabass part, and you can see in the cello I changed the bass line, but in the contrabass I try to maintain or keep the original roots I chose. I changed some stuff. So for example, in here in the C sharp, I try to adding some variation again at the end, but it's mostly the same. So and this I try to play this again. But actually I have a mocap version of this, so it sounds better, I think. So that's all.
Yeah, great. Many thanks, Norbert. That was a very good insight into your composition process. And it is actually perfect to see how you structured your different steps, because this leads to something many people might be confused with, and that is really the creative flow, the creativity, how to get to a finished piece, because there are so many options in between. Like you could go into 1,000 different variations of what you did. But the good thing is really you stay organized with what you do, which means it's a perfect combination of using technique and your inner ear that lets you decide, because of your taste and your personal voice, what option to use and what variation to go with. So I really like this approach.
And also, in the previous lessons, as I mentioned, it was about teaching you how to write 3 lines, not just block quotes. So this is also very helpful method to get going with your piece and write very interesting parts, and also result in very interesting chord progressions. So
Yeah, I'm very sure that many people out there will benefit a lot from this insight here. So I'm very, very thankful for your time and your efforts that you are continuously putting into the assignments and your own development as a composer. So Norbert, I want to say big, big thanks to you, what you have prepared here. This was great. And definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing you again, maybe in one of the future interviews.
Yeah, thanks for everything. And yeah, if you guys want to contact me, you can find me on Facebook or in the M.I.T.A group. So just send me a message.